Hello, everyone, and welcome to my book nook where I talk about all things stories. So, it is the start of week three, like my week three vlog for my readathon, and I just finished a book. It is now like 10 a.m., and I finished a book, and in theory, just finished my readathon. I finished the recruitment for all of the members that I was planning on recruiting if I chose to. I'll talk about that. So, first off, I just finished Solo Leveling Volume 2. Absolutely obsessed with this. Like, I read the first one, absolutely loved it, and I was like, okay, cool, we're gonna read the second one. The second one came in perfect timing for the readathon. I just finished it, absolutely loved it, definitely gonna continue. The wait for the volume 3 is going to be a bit, and even possibly like 4 might not even be like at my library or whatnot, so I may have to find a way to read this online because I'm absolutely loving this. But with this one book, I got two different bingos on my bingo board. So you can see down across and down across the bottom. So going, we'll go diagonally. So listen to a new to you K-pop group, which I listened to, uh, was it Huda? Did I listen to Minhyuk from BTP? Did I listen to his album? Or did I listen to um, Icon? Who did I listen to? I don't remember who I listened to, but I know I did, and I talked about it in I think the week one blog. I've eaten Korean food a few times now. I freestyle danced to K-pop. I finished that yesterday for the first time, which I don't know why it took me so long, but I was freestyle just dancing and vibing with my kiddo to Eternal Sunshine by 80s. And then just now I read a manhwa. That also completed the prompts going sideways because in addition to reading a manhwa, that is a book by a Korean author which has a Korean main character. And then also the other thing I'd already done was watch a variety show. I did all of that with this one book. So if you remembered from because I wanted there to be some ease into the prompts. And so if you'd remembered, if you had completed the prompt to read a book by a Korean author, that was an automatic free recruitment as well as a book with a Korean main character. Both of which these have, but it also got bingo. So that's 4 different prompts right there that I got. So I got 2 from the bingos plus the Korean author and the Korean main character. So that is 4 free prompts that I just got. And that doesn't even include that I could be like, oh, well, he's a male main character and all of the people that I'm recruiting are guys. So I could, in theory, use that as the 5th one to then recruit the other 5 members that I have not recruited. So as of right now, I could just chill and read whatever I want and not worry about prompts and whatnot for the rest of the month, which is great because, like I said, I have a wedding coming up this month, and that's going to start to take up some of my attention and whatnot later on. But I still want to try to challenge myself to read a different book for each person. So, as of right now, all I have done is the Korean main character. I've used that like freebie slash also like Korean character for a Korean member or whatever, and I'm using that to recruit Han into my, you know, little K-pop group for the readathon, for no reason other than that was the prompt that I had originally put with him when I made the TBR, and so I was like, okay, cool, we'll just keep it there. So looking at my list that I have here, I still need to recruit Sungmin, Hyunjin, Hungbin. Jeez Louise, Lex. I know it's early, but it's not that early. Changbin and Bangchen. Um, so I still need to read Mate by Allie Hazelwood. However, I can't read that digitally or via audiobook from my library or anything like that, so I'm gonna have to read that one physically. However, because of pre-orders, there are other books that I want to read physically first, so I actually don't even think I'm gonna get to Mate. But we'll see what the end of the month brings. But there are definitely some audiobooks and ebooks and stuff like that for other books that I have priorities that I want to try to get to. So yeah, um, I can't believe that I came on here to like basically start the vlog and I didn't, think I'd have much to say. But yeah, I finished one book and technically, if I wanted to, could say I have now officially recruited all of Stray Kids. Um, so yeah, that's nice. But like I said, I'm going to challenge myself to try to continue reading different books. At the end of the month, if we get to it, I will just come back and I will use the other free prompts. I'm just gonna kind of hold on to them for a little bit. And yeah, we'll see what that does. But yeah, I'm really excited. So yeah, that's a great way to start week 3. But yeah, that's a great update for me. I honestly need to keep doing more stuff with this. And again, like at this point, because like this one book would have finished, it doesn't matter how many more like bingos that I get, or if I do black it out, which I don't think I'm going to do. Oof, jeez, my shoulder is so stiff and sore. I need to do some workouts. I need to be able to hold my phone longer. But anyways, it technically doesn't matter in terms of recruitment, but I am still going to continue working on that. And I have decided to change one of the bingo prompts, but I will talk about that in a later update. So if you want a free upgrade for the bingo prompts, stay tuned to later in this video, and I will check in with y'all later. It is later in the day. I think it's like 9 o'clock now. But I come to you with an update because I have been reading. I have, in fact, been reading 3 different books, and we're going to talk about them. We're going to talk about a lot of books. So, we're going to first start talking about these 2. Because I have made the decision that I am DNFing both of these. They hate this. This book literally came in last week. I could, in theory, return this for a full refund right now if I wanted to. I'm not going to. But, like, that is how new this still is. It's not a bad book. But there is a dual POV in this book. And so if you watched last week's vlog, you saw that I finished the first one. This is the sequel. I finished the first one, and I liked it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Honestly, I think I used the words loved at that time. I loved the book. I had a great time. I zipped through it. I wanted to listen to the audiobook. I had a great time. And when I got to the end of it, I said that you could have told me it was a standalone and I would have believed you. But I knew it was a trilogy. And I was excited, so I pre-ordered the second one. I hadn't pre-ordered the third one yet simply because it wasn't available like as a paperback to be able to be pre-ordered, and since I already had the first one in paperback, I wasn't going to mix up the format. And so pre-ordered this, it came, it got delivered. I was excited. I started reading it. I got 36% of the way through this before I officially decided that I'm just going to call it quits, because I have come to the realization over the last few years / like just deep understanding of I will die with unread books. There is no way to physically read every book you ever want to read before you die. It's just not possible, because there will always be new books that you want to read. And that's okay. That is a fact that I have accepted. But taking that truly to heart, I have kind of realized, so why am I wasting time on books that I just think are mid, or books that I don't think are going to be a favorite of all time? They're just going to be average, or I'm not wanting to pick them up for reasons that are within my control, right? And I just realized this book, unlike the first one is just a single POV whole way through. This one is a dual POV with the main character from the first book and a side character that we meet. And it doesn't work for me. I am very picky about dual POVs. I also am incredibly picky. I almost will never pick up a book written by 2 or more authors. This one is just written by 1, but there are just certain things that I am very particular about in terms of my reading, just because I know my reading taste. Part of it, for example, the 2 authors thing, very rarely is it done in a seamless way where I can't tell who wrote what part. Usually I can tell who wrote what part, and I want to read one part over the other. And that's really frustrating as a reader, or at least for me. That is just something that I know about myself as a reader, which is why you will probably never see me as a writer write a dual POV story. Even though it's just me, the only way I would do a dual author thing or whatever is if I wrote a story with one of my artist friends, whereas I was we collaborated on the plot and whatnot, but I was the driving force around the story and they did the art side of it. But in terms of a novel, I will probably never co-write or co-author a book. And that's just, again, personal preferences that I have had these opinions for years, literal years. I honestly don't even know how far back that opinion goes. Again, there's nothing wrong with that. That is just a personal opinion on a personal preference that I have come to realize. And even though this was written by one author, it kind of had that same issue as there was one POV I just didn't really care about. And I kind of want, like, but to be fair, the two POVs, at least as of 36% and when I DNF'd it, they didn't feel cohesive. They didn't feel, granted, I was listening to this via audiobook, so I don't know if I counted up the pages, if it would be different or not, but it felt like they didn't have equal screen time. And I just struggled with that, especially because to me, the character we got more screen time from was from the side character. Whereas like the main character from the previous book got a much smaller portion of like screen time from their POV, at least again from where I ended it, and just from my auditory experience. Again, if I counted up pages, it may be different. This is just going off of my listening experience, and I was struggling with the book, and it is, like I said, there is nothing against this book. I like it. If you liked the first one and you don't have any hangups with dual POVs or anything like that, you'll probably enjoy this. But I just realized I am so particular about my tropes and my books and my book structures and whatnot, that this was just, unfortunately, it was not for me, and I'm very bummed about that. But I am starting a pile of books. My best friend is coming in town in a couple months, and they are also a reader, and so I'm going to create a stack of books, like a huge pile. We'll get there. Of books for them to go through and talk about and whatnot. And this is going to be one of them because I think they very well might enjoy it. It's just not for me, and that's okay. The second book that I am DNFing is The Monster and Last Blood Match, which, if you watched last week's vlog, you will know I've been talking about this because I pre-ordered the sequel and also the third book, and the sequel is supposed to come in this month. Since I'm DNFing this, I have canceled both pre-orders. Technically, this is me picking this book up for the second time. I technically soft DNF'd this back in like June. 6 pages in. The bookmark is still in there from the first time I read it. 6 pages. That is how far you can see. That's the other page. But yeah, I was on page 6. That's how far I got into it the first time. And I got through it. It's a super easy read. Like, this is one, I sent it again to my bestie who's coming, and I was like, hey, does this sound like a book that you would enjoy? I think it would, because we have similar reading preferences and tropes and whatnot that we like, and we both love all things spooky and whatnot. And I sent it to him. I was like, hey, here's what's going on. Here's my situation. Explained it. I'm like, does this sound like something you would enjoy? Because, I'm going to set it aside to you, for you to, go through. But I was reading it, and it was really easy reading. Like, I was just like sliding through it, hit 25 pages, no time. Like, I passed that 6-page mark where I stopped last time. Granted, the 6 pages was because I was reading it like right before I went to bed. So like I went to bed, I fell asleep pretty early on, but I got to page 25, I think. I know it was 13%. End of chapter 2. That's where I got to the end of chapter 2 and got into more of where the plot picks in. And I knew from reading the back that this was a possibility, but it didn't seem necessarily like the trope. There's another trope. You can see there is a consistency, there is a pattern. There was a trope that popped up, and it was very much reinforced heavily that this is a like boss employee romance of sorts. Kind of gives off this early on almost like reluctant, it almost gives off like rivals to lovers vibes, but as a boss. Both of them seem grumpy. Like, it almost seems like a grumpy romance. It's a vampire book. I am expecting broodiness and whatnot with vampires. I fully expect that. But it was the boss, like, employee aspect that I don't know what it is about that trope. I can almost never get into workplace romances, even if they're coworkers. I don't know what it is about workplace romances, but I have just never gotten into them. I don't know why. Um, and so it's just one of those things where I'm like, okay. And it's one thing, like, if they're working side by side each other for like a project or whatnot, but as long as they're not like typical, like day to day coworkers, right? Um, or like work for the same company like all the time. But even then, it just, there's a little bit more nuance with that. But as like boss and employee, I don't think I've ever read a romance all the way through and not DNF'd a boss employee one. I could be mistaken, but from memory, I don't think I have. And that's okay. It's just one of those things where I just realized the trope is not for me. It also was giving slight dystopian vibes, which is super cool. And again, I like was excited for the book. I pre-ordered the sequel and the trilogy, and it's from Red Tower. This is my first Red Tower. Actually, no, because the Assistant to the Bell, but I knew that one was hesitant. Um, maybe it's just maybe they're paperback books. I don't know. But yeah, there's just I couldn't do, because they heavily reinforced the boss employee trope by the end of the second chapter, and I was like, you know what, it's not for me. That's okay. I will pass this on most likely to my friend, and I'm sure she will love it much more than I am. But that's okay. It is. This also, when you go onto Goodreads, this trilogy by Kaylin was previously indie published, and I believe it was picked up by Red Tower, and they are like reprinting them. I don't know if they were rewritten at all when they did that. I don't know, because I haven't read the first one, and also I only got 2 chapters in, so I don't know that. However, this doesn't have like on Goodreads, it's a combined average rating, so it's not a great average rating. I think it's like a 3.5 maybe. I feel like this might be one of my lowers, if not 3.8 max, but I think it's like a 3.5. And all of the reviews are very mixed. Like there's a few 5 stars, there's like a few like 1 stars, right? Like they're almost equal with the amount of 5 stars and 1 stars. And then there are so many in the middle where it was just like, you know, they had conflicting feelings on it and whatnot. And so it was just enough for me that it was one of those things where I'm like, I'm already not vibing with the trope, because that is just a personal preference. And there is nothing that I was seeing in any of the, including the 5-star reviews, there was nothing in any of the reviews that told me this is worth pushing past my preferences for reading to continue on, because it is going to blow me away. But like I said, it's the tropes. That is the main thing that got me. And the thing that kind of convinced me that it was okay to DNF these books is because of the other book that I am reading, Next to You by Hannah Bonham Young. I started this morning before I went back to those two via audiobook. And I am already 13% of the way through this book. I am thoroughly enjoying. I want to continue reading more of it. I want to continue listening to the audiobook. I want to finish the story. And that was just a clue to me. I'm like, okay, if I would rather continue listening to this one versus the other two, that's a sign that it's okay to let those go. So I'm going to DNF the other two. I'm going to continue this one. And I want to read her other books. I'm still super early on, even though I'm 13% of the way, and I still feel like I'm super early on. But we have our main characters. I think it's Elaine, but yeah, Lane and Matt, right? Yeah, Matt, and she gets drunk and she impulsively buys a bus, and I think he's gonna help her restore it. We haven't officially gotten to that part of it yet, but she did just drunkenly buy a bus, and I'm enjoying it right now. So, yeah, I will actually come back with a proper update for you guys with this one, probably within the next day or two. But I'm gonna end this clip because I have a giant stack of books that I need to show y'all. So I can't even hold them all in frame, but I decided to purge my bookshelves. Um, so there's, how many books did I count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There are 11 books. That angle was probably real rough. There are 11 books that I've decided tonight are leaving my bookshelves. In addition to the two that I'm DNFing. So technically there's 13. There are 13 books right here. And these are in addition to the stack of books that I already have in a tote for me to sell. So I'll be filming for sure like an in and outs or unhaul or something. And also this was just a like sweep of my bookshelves while I was having an active conversation with my husband. I was not fully paying attention to my bookshelf. So there's a chance this pile is going to grow. So yeah, like I said, expect a unhaul. You know what? I'm probably just gonna film an unhaul of these plus all the books that I have already stored away. Um, sneak preview to my friend for her pile of books that she gets to go through. But yeah, I just, I was feeling brutal, and so I went through and I culled some books, and so my bookshelves are looking a little bare. They're looking a little rough in certain spots, but I am very happy with the collection that I have because I very much want my bookshelves to be a reflection of me and my taste and what I'm excited to read and all of that. So, yeah, well, this is tomorrow's problem. I need to get these off my lap. My arm is also starting to get sore. So, I'm going to go read, probably in bed, and I will check in with you guys tomorrow. It is now Tuesday night, and I don't have a great update for you guys. The weather has been really crazy the past like 5 or so days, and it's finally mellowed out. And I think as a result, like my husband and I are just like, we're taken out and down for the count today. Our bodies were just like, excuse me, what was that? Which, fair, what was that weather? That was insane. But I think we're both, coming out the other side of it. I think it's hopefully just like a 1 day reacquaint our bodies with itself kind of thing and good to go. But anyways, I come with sort of a reading update. So my book of unhaul, like my unhaul books, has grown since my last clip. So yeah, 100% did not film the unhaul video today like I had planned, but I will be doing that tomorrow. As well as I have to reorganize my bookshelves. I'm gonna have to film that because I very easily have gotten rid of the equivalent of an entire shelf of books. Like one of my shelves is like half empty. So we're gonna have to clean that up tomorrow, reorganize, also get rid of clutter because I share it with my husband and my child, so child chaos is on there. But anyways, I come to you with another update on another book I DNF'd. Started it and DNF'd it almost immediately. Blood of Hercules by Jasmine Mass. I had the sequel to this pre-ordered because I don't remember where I originally heard about it, but it sounded intriguing to me, so I bought it. And then I started reading it. The writing style is not for me at all. Not at all. How do I explain this? It was very simplistic writing, style-wise. Like, it was kind of almost like, I say this in the nicest way possible, but it almost felt like the type of easy writing style you would see like on fan fiction or like Wattpad or anything like that. It did not have overly sophisticated writing by any means or anything like that. Just off the beginning, you had like a prologue of sorts, I think, and then we got to the first chapter, and I didn't even finish that first chapter. That's where I DNF'd it that early in, because it was basically just an info dump. But like the sentences were like super short and let me see. And also just like the way it was formatted, granted, now that I'm looking at it in the book, basically one sentence and then it was just indented into the next line, and I'm like, y'all couldn't, you and your editors didn't want to combine any of that. An entire paragraph. This is the entire line paragraph. Like literally, this is it. So from the indent until the next indent. They didn't hurt others and instead focused on self-improvement and the sciences. That's it. Why is every single sentence a new indent? I am so glad that I was reading that on my ebook, because that, from a formatting stance, would have driven me insane. That would have driven me insane. Knowing that literally every single sentence is a new line. And going forward, once you actually get into it a little bit more, that wasn't even the first oh my goodness. Okay, technically I wasn't even on the first chapter, but the first chapter apparently starts on page 25. Yeah, it's just not for me. I have just decided it is not for me. Also, then like looking at the introduction, knowing how it's written and whatnot, and then like in the content warnings, I don't know if I didn't see this before or didn't hear about it, or if I just didn't care. But it's got a content warning at the beginning and says this is a story of dark romance and darker obsession. If it's got a super, super, super simple writing style that feels YA, but then it is a dark romance, the two just do not match up in my brain. I can't read, like, if I didn't have that content warning and I was just like picking it up and whatnot, like, I should be able to tell that this is not for kids if it is dark romance. In my opinion, that is. So yes, we're DNFing this. We're unhauling it. I already canceled the pre-order for the sequel. So yeah, now I have pre-ordered, or I've canceled 2 of the pre-orders that are supposed to come in this month. So one of them I don't have to cancel because it is a sequel to one of the books that I read earlier this year or last year. I think it was last year that I read it, which was The Games Gods Play. Absolutely loved that one. Was so excited for the sequel. So I'm super excited for that one. So definitely not canceling that pre-order. The other pre-order that I have left for the month, which there is a chance that I may cancel it, but I'm hoping not, is The Defender. And that is the sequel to The Striker by Anna Wong. So I have to figure out what I want to do for that one. So partly I want to be like, no, I want to focus on my other books that are like spookier and whatnot because it's October. But also part of me is like, because I am like in a really picky reading mood, part of me also feels like I should like read that just to make sure I don't want to cancel a pre-order and DNF like another book. But yeah, that is for tomorrow me to decide, because I honestly I'm gonna go lay in bed and crash out, and I don't think I'm gonna get much of any reading done tonight. So yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow. So I went to go record the clip of this, like basically saying, hey, it's only been a couple days, but yeah, I decided to actually go look to see how many days it's been. It's been a week. I haven't talked to you guys since last Tuesday. It is now the following Tuesday morning. So this 100% is going to be a 2-week vlog because I filmed for 2 days last week. Technically, I did film on a 3rd day. However, that I think I only recorded clips for a unhaul video that by the time you're seeing this will potentially be out already. If not, it's coming soon. So this is going to be a longer vlog, timeline wise. I honestly am trying to remember why I wasn't recording for most of last week. Very well could have been having chronic health flare-ups. This past week's been a little wonky. I did accidentally set myself off with having one on Sunday. Because I went to the zoo and it was really hot and I sweat so much. It was disgusting. We had fun. It was great. but I did not counterbalance for my pots as much as I thought I had. So definitely kind of struggled a little bit with that, but you know, it is what it is. I don't think I have finished a book since I have last spoken with you, which is really sad. So I spoke with you. I think I was talking about how I was DNFing a book, didn't like it, and how I was gonna film an unhaul video. Filmed the unhaul video. I got rid of so many books. Like my bookshelves desperately need to be reorganized and rearranged and whatnot because they're looking rough. I have then since DNF'd 2 more books since Thursday. So since Thursday, I've DNF'd 2 more books. However, I do have good news. I am currently reading the Hybe, like, and Hypen manhwa thing that they came out. It's called Dark Moon, the Blood Altar, I believe is what that one is. I am currently reading that. I will be finishing that. So that will eventually be finished. So I'll be able to officially recruit somebody else with that. Again, technically I have finished enough to be able to recruit everybody. I am just now at the stage of trying to read and finish other books to like recruit everybody with like 1 book. Before I tell you about the DNFs, there is a book that I am going to be starting to read / listen to the audiobook for, and that is The Things Gods Break. That is the sequel to The Games Gods Play by Abigail Owens. That came out today. However, I requested the audiobook through my library. And for some reason, even though I'm in Arizona, I'm on the West Coast. When it hit 9 o'clock here, that meant it was now 12 on the East Coast. It was now the next day. It was the launch of the book. And I don't know if it's because Libby is, you know, it's for everybody. But I mean, also, like, it's not, though, because my books are for my city. So I don't know. But either way, I was given it at 9 p.m. last night. I haven't started it yet, though, but I do have, so I will be starting that. And definitely will most likely be finishing that within the next few days. So I will be finishing that plus the webtoon as well. So I will have actual reading updates for you guys later. Now we're going to talk about the 2 books that I DNF'd. So the first one, this is the last book that I think I talked to you guys about. This is Next to You by Hannah Bonham Young. And I wasn't feeling it. I knew it wasn't going to be a favorite all time. I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't vibing with it. There were like some personal, like, gripes isn't even the right word, but like there were just some things that I was just like, I don't know about this. Like the chemistry, I just personally didn't feel it as much and whatnot. And so I did what I always do when I am on the fence about DNFing a book. Is this potentially bad practice? I don't know, but this is how my brain likes to do it. Is if I am on the fence about a book for DNFing it, I will go look at reviews to see if other people are feeling the same way I am. Is it like a middle book lull? Like what do people feel about it? And it seemed to be kind of the consensus, like it didn't seem like there was like a middle book lull. However, there were some reviews that I saw that they said some interesting things that happened towards the end, and I was like, if I read that, I would not like that. And I wasn't already feeling the romance as much and whatnot, like, or like the main character, she kind of like the main character, like the female character, Lane, she annoyed me. Listen, I understand that every character is not for everyone. She annoyed me. And then the male main character, he seemed perfect. Like, it was written in a way where it was supposed to be just kind of like the perfect male interest. And I like my characters to have flaws. I don't like them to be so flawed that they are unlikable and annoying and I don't want to read about them. But I like my characters to have flaws. And so with him being so perfect, it was annoying to read. Like, do you ever get that? Like, where, like, the character is so annoyingly perfect? Like, that's what he felt like. So I've decided to DNF this. I have also decided not to buy any more of her books until I read one that I like, because I can get them from my library. So I'm going to read her books from my library before I do books. And again, and that is nothing against her. That is A, supporting my local library, but also B, I don't have a massive book budget to just be buying books that I'm not going to like. And so I want to make sure that I'm just buying books that I truly think I'm going to enjoy and live on my bookshelves forever. So like the book that's coming today, I know that's a book that I'm going to want. Like, granted, it is a sequel to a book that I read. But like the first book, that was the first book by this author, but it, like, everything about it screamed something I would like, and I was right, it absolutely was. And this is now a sequel to that book, and so I know I'm going to like this book. This is, again, a book that I'm so excited for. So let's that. And then also like, I don't know, I've just been a little bit picky with my books lately, and I think that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But it is what it is. The next book. I accidentally hooked up with a vampire by Jessica Cage. I'm annoyed at myself that I'm DNFing this, because it is for a really stupid, petty reason. But if I had known, I'm going to have to do spoilers at some point. Don't worry, I will give you a heads up when I spoil why I'm DNFing this, like, explicitly. And again, it's going to be a really stupid Lex reason, but it is a minor spoiler. I am DNFing this at like 38%. I forget what Next to You is, but I think I'm like over 50% for that one. This one I know for a fact is 38% that I'm DNFing it. And I'm so mad at myself about it, because I love vampire stuff. However, I'm just a little picky about my vampire lore, and that's partly why I don't know if I will. I love vampire stories. I love reading about vampire stories, but I don't know if I would ever write a vampire story, because you got to figure out your lore. And there are certain lore universal truths for vampire stories and whatnot, or at least typically there are, and if you go against those, then, you need to, but there are certain basics. And there was a trope. Genre convention? That feels better. It was like a genre convention that was brought in here. That was different. It was trying to put a spin on something that was normal, right? It was like, hey, here's this normal genre convention, but we're going to bring this other thing in to try to change it up and make it unique and different. The problem is the thing that they brought in is that one of the things that for me is typically no thanks, I'll pass. It's a stupid thing, and I don't even know how much it's actually going to influence the story, but for me, it was enough. And so I'm going to have to DNF it. I'm going to give it to I'm going to see if one of my friends wants to read it, though, because it's, like I said, it's purely a me thing. But if you don't want to be spoiled for this book, I'm going to basically be spoiling this until I put this down. Once I put this down, you're good to come back, or go to the timestamp that I'm going to throw up on the screen. But spoilers now. The thing that Jessica changed is, okay, so if you've read Twilight, you for sure have heard this, and if you've read other ones, you've probably heard it as well, but basically her blood calls to him. He is the vampire, her blood sings to him, right? Her blood sings to him, calls to him, and whatnot. And the reason behind that, like, I don't even know. Personally, I don't even need a reason. I don't need a reason. The reasoning of why her blood sings to him is because she's a descendant of an alien. Like, outer space alien came down to Earth and decided to live here on Earth alien. Like, not from Earth or alien. I'm sorry, what? No, I don't like aliens. I also don't really like zombies that much. But I don't like aliens. At least in books. In books, I don't like zombies and aliens. I don't like alien stories. So if I know there's an alien in it, I'm not gonna read it. And because she's our female main character and she is a descendant of an alien, I don't care if that is like a throwaway line and it never comes into play. I can't do it. Plus, like, also, like, it felt like they were starting to throw a lot of things in there, but yes, can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. So, yep, that's the way it's gonna be. Um, so I'm gonna give that to a friend, see if she wants it. Um, and we're just gonna keep reading with what I got, and yeah. Oh yeah, and since I've talked to you guys, I have also started to edit. I edited chapter 1 of the next draft of my novel, which I haven't talked about too much in these recent vlogs. But yes, I've started editing the next draft. So yeah, it's been a fairly somewhat productive, but not towards the readathon kind of way, but that's okay. So yeah, I'm going to go put those now in my unhaul pile, and I'm going to go back to reading, and I'll check in with y'all later. So I pulled out my tripod for this clip because I wanted to be able to film my like actual reaction, because the sequel to The Games Gods Play just arrived. I'm so excited. This is one of my favorite books, I guess, of last year. I totally forgot that this came out September, according to this, September of last year, September 2024, because I got this when it was released. I absolutely loved this. I ate this up. I can't believe it's been a year. But I mentioned this in this year's mid-year freak out tag. Oops, because it's not from this year. This is from last year. But this is one of the most beautiful books that I have, in my opinion. I absolutely am obsessed with the sprayed edges. Like, those are stunning. Those are not just a simple blue. Like, no, they are stunning. I love the cover personally. Then you've got the blue teal like foil on the actual hardback, and then those end pages. I would have a print of this hanging up in my house. Like, I love this book. I think this book is gorgeous, and I also just loved the book, but I think this book is gorgeous. So I cannot wait for the sequel, which is right here. I have removed any stickers with any identifying information, and then all I did was open it, which I'm really glad I did because that pull tab was not working, but I have not looked at it, so we're going to look at it together for the first time. You guys get the first look? Oh, these are gonna look so pretty. Look how pretty those look next together. I mean, like, obviously they made them so they look pretty good, but they look so pretty together. Oh, I love the warm, like, reds and whatnot. Like, oh. Wait a second, wait a second. Are these the same but in red? No, they are a little bit different, but oh, I love that. Like, these just, these, you can't tell me these don't feel cohesive. Like, these feel like they go together. Oh, I like, also, I pre-ordered this as soon as I finished this one. So, like, my email says, like, an untitled Entangled Red Tower book was just delivered. Like, that, for some reason, it didn't switch over to the games, the Things Gods Break as my notification updates, but yeah. I ordered this before it even had a title and whatnot, so I haven't seen any of this because I just knew it was coming. So, oh, ooh, okay, wait, we gotta look. So I'm guessing it's gonna have red foil like on the cover and whatnot. Ooh, it's not red, but I like that. It's almost like a kind of rose gold, and I love like all the Aries imagery. I'm assuming Aries is gonna play a big role in this. No. Oh. Ah, look at that. Oh. Oh. Hi, I need to know. Like, that's just, Elizabeth Turner Stokes. Okay. Yep. I need to know. Is that who did this one too? Because if so, I need to go find, yeah. Oh wait, no, the end papers are different. Either way, I need to, but she did do the map, in this one. I, I need to go find both of the, lovely ladies that, did these artworks. Cause like, look at that. That is stunning. Oh, that is so pretty. Oh, I'm just, mm-hmm. Oh, the dedication. I love this. I love this dedication. To the mean girls in high school who I let convince me to stop writing for years because they told me I was weird for this passion. Welcome to Tartarus. I love it. And then to the writers, the readers, the storytellers, the dreamers, never ever let someone else take away your passion. Oh, I love that dedication too. That's awesome. I am so unbelievably excited for this book. I absolutely love this. Oh my gosh, I need to start reading this immediately. But I need to figure out if I'm going to be reading this if I'm going to start reading it physically, or if I'm going to start by listening to the audiobook, because I have things I can do, but I want to read. And this is just, y'all, I can't. Beautiful artwork. I am obsessed. Okay, so I'm gonna go fangirl over all of this on my own. And I will check in with you guys at some point with an actual update that's not just me going, oh my god, look how pretty this is, because oh my god, look how pretty this is. Hello, so this is going to be a quick wrap up for this video because it is already Saturday, so I need to get this video edited and uploaded. But I'm coming to you with a quick update. I don't think I've talked to you guys since Tuesday. Got my hair done Wednesday. I've been doing some reading and running errands and whatnot the last few days. But since I have last spoken with you, I got another bingo because I have watched a K-drama that is in the form of Imitation. I've watched the first episode. I'm actually about to start the second one. So far, I am obsessed. Absolutely love it. This is officially my first K-drama that I have watched. Absolutely love it. I am so excited to keep going and watch others and all that. Absolutely love it. I have also finished I have a book in my hands. We'll talk about that in a second. But I have finished another manhwa that was Dark Moon, The Blood Altar by like Hybe with like In Hypen. And I don't know how I feel about it, and like part of me also like wonders like how much are they involved in it, or is it just like they agreed to their likeness being used? But it wasn't bad. It was, I mean, in terms of webtoons and whatnot, it's along the lines of stuff that I've previously read. I liked the art style, so yeah, I will probably read more of their webtoons, Hybe's webtoons and whatnot that they have. I haven't decided that for sure though. Partly because this next book that I'm going to talk about. So this is going to prompt a whole new video. Like I have an entire video that I want to make talking about this. And I was going to save it for the beginning of the year, but we might not even wait that long because I'm going to be changing the way I'm reading and whatnot. And all that was prompted by this, The Things Gods Break by Abigail Owen. I was so excited for this book to come out. I pre-ordered it, absolutely loved the first one, and this came in and I got 10% of the way through the audiobook, and then I have technically softy enough to this because I want to go back and reread the first one before I continue this, because like while I was enjoying it, there was just too much where I was like forgetting of the first one that I feel like really would help my entertainment and my enjoyment of this second one. So I'm gonna go back, reread the first one, then go to this one. And what is kind of prompting that is I read the first one, I'm pretty sure, through audiobook. The second one, I was also reading through audiobook. And I've come to the conclusion that, and this is where like I'm gonna do like a whole book audit and talk about the books and talk about it in this video, but I think I'm going to stop listening to audiobooks for most of the books that I read, but certain genres I'm okay with that I think I'll stick with. But for the most part, I think I'm gonna stop listening to audiobooks just based off of how my body and my brain comprehend books and my enjoyment of it. Because like I know I thoroughly enjoyed it, absolutely loved it, and I was remembering things at the time that I was reading, but it wasn't sticking with me as much as I would have hoped. And I am very much a quality over quantity kind of person, especially when it comes to books and storytelling and whatnot. And so yeah, I'm softy enough. I will 100% come back to this. Like, I'm going to be reading the games gods play probably within the next week or two. And so hopefully I will get to this by the end of the month. Like by the end of January, or not January, the end of November. That's my fingers crossed. If not, then we will see what holiday reads I have for December that I have to read first, and then the Things Gods Break, this may end up being a January read. I haven't, obviously we're almost to the end of the year. We'll see how this goes. But yeah, I have softy enough it for now, but that's because I want to go back and reread the first one. I'm going to do that basically immediately. So yeah, that is the update that I have for this video. Like I said, we're going to keep this nice, short and sweet because I have to get this video edited and uploaded and then also start filming my next video. Heads up, the vlog for the last of the readathon and whatnot is going to be a little bit delayed because I'm going to have another video coming up in between this one and that one. So that one will be a bit delayed, but it will be coming. But yeah, that is it for this video, you guys. If you liked it, be sure to give it a thumbs up if you want it. If you don't, that's cool too. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!